I've been playing Minecraft for well over 10 years at this point, and I consider it to be my all-time favorite video game by far, no competition. I vividly remember itching like an addict to play this game just about every day, going off into the school or county library, opening a server just to join all my friends, just to play for even half an hour, only to go home and do the exact same thing all day long. But I've grown, and I still play, albeit a lot differently, which caused something to be in the back of my mind over the past handful of years, something I've unknowingly ignored. Perspective. If I were to somehow graph all my playing hours on Minecraft across my entire lifespan so far, which is a lot by the way, I'd be willing to bet every cent in my bank account that less than 20% of it is me actually playing the single player normal vanilla across all devices, while the other percentage is me either playing a server or some sort of mod or mod pack. Which begs the question, do I even like playing Minecraft? Well, obviously yes, I enjoy playing Minecraft. It's my favorite game of all time, right? It's my most played game to date and it's not even close. But does it even count if I never really ever play the normal game how it was intended to be played? If every time I get on the game it's a mod pack or server or other, am I even playing Minecraft? Or some kind of mutation of the game? Now I'm fully aware of the fact that this could and most likely is just a me thing. A lot of Minecraft's players still play and enjoy the base game to my knowledge. And there are a ton of creators across the main social media platforms that cover and do videos of just the base game that do very well. And it's still the best selling video game of all time, might I add. But to me, it feels like this game has almost run its course for me. I understand the gameplay to a T. We all know the early, the mid, and the end game, along with a plethora of side and post-game content. I mean, I've played the game for over a decade. Of course, I know an insane amount about it. It could just be because I've played it for so long, but to me, it feels like Minecraft is missing something. Minecraft doesn't really have one set goal or direction. Sure, there's technically an end to the game, but I and most others will agree that this isn't really the end to Minecraft, but closer to a side quest, which gives you two items, one of which doesn't even do anything, and the other being an ingredient for potions that add a property that seems mediocre at first glance. The end of Minecraft in a vacuum, and even in this context, isn't a good end at all, considering there's hardly any build up to getting there in the first place. Like, really think about this. What hint or direction do you really have to both specifically find and fight the Ender Dragon in the end that's purely in the game and easily accessible? Chances are you either found out from an outside source that this is the goal, or somehow you curiously crafted the eye using pearls and powder you got and followed the eye until you found the stronghold. And even after you complete Minecraft, this isn't even the end, by far. There's still so much to do everywhere. A ton of different structures, some with unique mobs, other bosses to fight, which arguably both of them are harder than the End Dragon. And even the end has post-game content, which funnily enough has new items that are a million times better than the ones you get from literally defeating the final boss. As for the creation sandbox side of the game, building huge pieces of work, practical or not, getting into the complexity of redstone, which requires a degree in and of itself, there's genuine levels to this. Almost every part of Minecraft and its content's drive or motivation really stems from you, and whether or not you want to go build that sculpture, make that machine, or find that structure. And I think after years of playing the game, knowing every single structure's contents and rewards doesn't really make me want to go out of my way to find them anymore. And ultimately, all this content, and I still won't hit that new world button on the vanilla version. Again, this could just be a me thing, however, there is another thing. A phrase that makes me believe that I'm not alone in this. The 2-week Minecraft phase. Phase. If you don't know what the 2-week Minecraft phase is, it's basically a slightly exaggerated way of describing a player's sudden motivation to play survival Minecraft up to around this point, in which they typically lose interest and stop playing further. This typically spans around a week or two, which is where the 2-week part of the 2-week Minecraft phase comes from. This motivation usually stems from nostalgia to capture that feeling of creativity and exploration you experienced all those years ago. The fall off tends to happen around the mid to late game when you've defeated the boss and struggled to figure out the next step. You could spend the next hour aimlessly wandering the world for anything, or you could put your time into a giant project to build a mega mansion or a sculpture or redstone contraption, which, let's be honest, is from a tutorial found online because you're not going to figure out the mechanic and quirk of this one item. What I'm saying is Minecraft is a very hard game to want to keep playing, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, if you want to keep playing, there's definitely a lot to do, but like I said, it almost exclusively requires you to genuinely want to go out and complete that task. For example, you could go out thousands of blocks to fight the woodland mansion for a fun challenge, and a rare strong drop being the totem, but then what? There's no real story or overarching goal in Minecraft to build toward past the Ender Dragon. Every other game has a plot and story to go off of with a clear end goal or at least some semblance of a goal in mind. Minecraft has none. You're just kind of dropped into a world and your only goal is to survive. And so you beat the dragon, but is it really the end? No, it's not. And it's not even a really satisfying end either. especially considering every other structure or place has stronger items. The Nether Fortress with upgrade templates, gold, blaze powder, wither skulls, shipwrecks with the heart in the sea, and like I said, the woodland mansion with the totems of undying. Which is weird, right? You'd think the big boss would have a cool drop, maybe access to a new weapon, artifact, gear, anything. She spits out this dragon breath projectile, and yeah, you can collect it, but all it does is give you another version of potions you're not gonna consistently use enough for it to be worth it. You get an egg and it doesn't hatch, which means no cool baby dragon for you to have to add to your world and or fight. They even bait you out with this new generation achievement you get, which I find hilarious. But seriously, wouldn't it be cool if you got a new crafting item to add to your weapon? Especially after considering there's a ton of more paths and places to discover past the end, including right after. Maybe you can shoot out those same bursts the dragon shot out. Every other boss just either ends the game or gives you a cool item to mess around with or add to your arsenal. I don't understand, and I can't believe it took me this long to realize it. Speaking of magic stuff, I don't know if anybody agrees with me on this, but the enchantments we have access to genuinely suck. Let me explain. The definition of the word enchantment is a magic spell or being under a spell. Now when you think of magic or spell, you probably vision manipulating an element for defense or offense, whether it's a burst like a fire blast, thunder call, or beam, actual magic. But when you look at Minecraft, what's really magical about sharpening your sword? Adding knockback. Oh yeah, you can proc fire to mobs with fire aspect and flame, but does that really feel magical? Be honest. Huge missed opportunity here, and this has been one of my biggest annoyances from Minecraft. I personally love magic. I like the idea of having supernatural powers at my disposal in whatever form it takes. The only real enchantments we have that sort of magical feel are Silk Touch, Riptide, Channeling, Infinity, and Windburst. That's 5 enchantments out of 39. I'm not sure if I counted this right, but there are 18 offensive enchantments available to use. And out of those, only 5 of them feel magical. You see the problem now? Listen, right, I'm not saying we shouldn't have basic enchantments like efficiency, looting, fortune, etc. I don't think it's crazy for me to want enchantments to be magical. Think about it this way, right? Would it not be cool if you could shoot out a gas fire shot, or a dragon's breath, or the warden's sonic shot, or the guardian's beam? Like, we have an entire structure with new cool mobs, one of which has multiple spells he uses against you. Why did we skip the obvious reward right in front of us for a way more boring, overpowered tool the mob that drops it doesn't even use? It all just feels like missed potential, and I'm not asking for anything ridiculous like godlike spells with crazy effects. These are all abilities that are in the base game which we are incapable of utilizing for ourselves, at least to the same effect. Now, whether or not you believe if this were to be integrated into the base game, it would take the form of an enchantment book, or collecting an item or collection of items to create a piece of armor, attachment, or separate weapon you equip entirely, is up to you, and I'm down with whatever form it takes. But if you're wondering what I think we should either be able to find or make a blank enchantment book with maybe a different name like Book of Potential, or if you want to be lazy or simple, just call it enchantment book with this area blank. I'd have it be a recipe that includes using the phantom membrane, an item that hardly has any uses as is, and I'm going based off the whole transparent see-through phantom aspect of the item. And what you could do is say the warden drops the catalyst. So you take that catalyst, add it to the anvil with the blank book, pay the XP points, and create the new enchantment book, which can be applied to a piece of armor or weapon or something wearable to be able to use the ability and have it cost some sort of durability or charge. Tell me this wouldn't be cool. Now, I'm aware this potentially could change a lot with the combat, but in my opinion, the combat is kind of lame how it is right now. I mean, we have 3 different archetypes. Only one of them is actually good. Close combat with the axe and sword, ranged with the bow and crossbow, and aerial with the mace and wind charge, which is only ever good against mobs with enough health for the setup to be worth it, assuming you don't miss and die. And you gotta admit, it's kind of unfair for you to be bound to a physical tool that's magical ability is the weapon is a little bit sharper and breaks a little bit slower, while you're fighting mobs with flame blasts. I'm also advocating to having an entirely new ability that is solely used for the player. And I feel like this would expand Minecraft's combat in a way that it desperately needs, especially right now. You could balance them to fit with specific playstyles that give more depth rather than just clicking every second or so. But not so specific where an ability that synergizes well, say a ranged weapon, aren't useless with up-close combat but still usable. Maybe good but not as good. I'm probably spending way too much time on this one thing in Minecraft, and I'm hoping I didn't lose you yet. Regardless, it would add so much more to the late game and your power level, because as it stands right now, the max you can reach is a player that takes less damage and does more damage. Not only that, but these abilities would be a constant trophy reminder of the challenging bosses and structures you just fought and beat. Look, I can keep going on and even more in depth, but I think it's time to move on now. I admitted earlier that I probably haven't played vanilla Minecraft in multiple months at this point. Not including the recordings you've been watching, obviously. Mostly because I'm bored of it. So if you're bored of it, how are you still playing it? I'm so glad you asked. Yeah, I said I mostly played mods at the beginning of the video as well, but shut up. I think Minecraft is one of, if not the best base game to be modded, period. And in my opinion, it is the best. And this is why. Minecraft is a sandbox game. You know this, you don't need me to tell you that. But part of being a sandbox game is being able to do whatever you want, which is kind of the entire point, without the constraint of having to follow the storyline, whether there is one or not, which in this case there isn't. Minecraft has this little quirk in that in any other game would absolutely break and ruin everything in just about every way. That's it. Being able to directly interact with the world to this level of precision and scale separates Minecraft from most other relevant sandbox games. This video isn't about you, you'll get yours, maybe, I don't know. A lot of you probably can tell where I'm going with this, but being able to interact with your world by itself adds a whole new dimension of gameplay to anything, honestly. While other sandbox games like, say, Teardown or GTA 5 don't have this level of interaction you have to your world to this degree. What does this mean exactly? I don't really know how else to explain it other than you can kind of just do whatever the hell you want. Think about this. You know how you will search up a contraption or an auto farm to make your vanilla world a little bit more convenient, whether it's just to make mundane tasks semi or fully automatic, or a resource farm of some kind. Anyway, I searched up one tutorial for an auto brewer with the combination of another mod I had, and I made a semi-automatic infinite money farm in this Pokemon mod pack. And if I decide to make one more of these things, I can make it fully automatic. Why would you spend so much time making a giant money farm? Because I can. See what I'm saying? It's not cheating, it's not exploiting. I'm using Minecraft's mechanics to make this mod pack my playground. And it all stems down to the fact that we can place and break blocks. I urge you to give me another game that can achieve this level of creativity and customization. I dare you, go ahead, tell me, in vivid detail. I bet you won't, because you can't. Terraria doesn't count. Punk. All this customization genuinely almost makes me want to learn the ins and outs of redstone, just so I can easily automate some of these farms. Almost. Not quite though. And this isn't even including the building mods like Create. Whoa, a giant scary mob that can two-tap me? Not anymore. The way I see it, Minecraft is like chicken. Good on its own, but add-ons make it so much better. Chicken is so versatile. You can make so many dishes with it, and it's more than likely gonna be bomb, while still retaining its distinct chicken taste and texture you love and loved for so long. But if I like chicken, but I only eat it with a ton of sauces, veggies, and starches, and end up with this, do I even like chicken? And by extension, is the way I play Minecraft closer to adding a few seasonings like salt, pepper, garlic, and oil? Or is it closer to this? And if it is, at what point is it not chicken? I like the familiarity of it, the feel of it, the memories, but at what point is it too far? I don't know, but what I do know is that I'm not going to stop playing these mod packs. But will I ever come back to normal vanilla Minecraft? Maybe I'll try the new content every time they release a new update. The trial chambers were actually really cool and fun to mess around with when it came out. I'll give Minecraft that. And I will play a vanilla server whenever and if ever, that's not a word, my friends want to just hop on. But I feel like one of my biggest problems with Minecraft, and I kind of referenced this earlier, are the mass amount of borderline useless and underutilized items. The Echo Shard, Phantom Membrane, Dragon Egg, Fire Charge, Prismarine Shards, Crystals, and Amethyst, just to name a few. And these are significant items, very rare significant items, that are either hard to find, dropped from a strong mob, or both. We aren't talking about items that literally can't or do not really need to have an important use, like the clock, the carrot on the stick, or the end rod, but you know what? It gives mod developers a free item to give an actual good use to. Mostly just a crafting recipe, but it uses a use, and regardless, a win is a win, right? To conclude, Minecraft, yeah, right. I may not ever start a solo single player world ever again, but I still love you forever and always. If you enjoyed this video, don't make me beg for it. I think this might be my favorite video I've ever made, depending on how the finished product looks, because I don't know, I'm still writing. But if you want to find out for yourself if this is my best video yet, watch my other ones and compare with me. Damn! Beautiful seamless plug. Aren't I good? I know I'm good. I don't need you to tell me, but do tell. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna get back to my Cobbleverse single player world.